It's my pleasure to introduce you to Bernardo Martinez. Bernardo.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
All right, so Bernardo's with the Ford GT Concierge Team. He's going to give us some insight to how the team works, what he does for the team, and let's hear a little bit about it. First of all.
Well, thanks for talking. It's interesting, the GT, the new Ford GT, we announced in 2016 that Ford was going to be producing the new generation, the third generation of the Ford GT. There was a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement, and as part of the process for owners is the concierge program. So we kind of we're the folks that help customers in that kind of shop, buy, and own experience with your new Ford GT. And as you know, there were customers that had to apply. Anybody who was interested in purchasing the car in early 2016 went through an application process. Out of that application process, we selected a handful of customers for roughly the first 3 or so years of production, and so they are all aware that, and excited, very excited, that they're getting cars.
What were some of the requirements or guidelines that Ford used for that? Can you share that with us?
So that's interesting. So it's Ford really wanted to hear from folks that were interested in buying really who they are and what their relationship is to Ford and to the Ford brand. And it didn't matter, it doesn't really matter necessarily your net worth, right? It's about, what do you drive, what do you own, how do you use it? It was really, really interesting. And we even offered folks the opportunity to send in a 1-minute video to kind of tell us their story.
Right.
We were able to really connect with a lot of different folks in different walks of life. And so that kind of helped, put the fabric together of what, the new GT ownership or owners look like for us.
Right.
It's really, really interesting.
Oh yeah.
And we're excited about it.
Yeah, definitely. Now you have a unique position within the GT Concierge Team. Tell us what you do.
I have a really, really good job, and so my role with the concierge team is delivery of the car. So it's always a good day.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, yes. It's always a really, really fun day, and it's more obviously more specialty to the owner, because the experience of receiving the excitement, the anticipation, and then we get to the day of delivery, and we don't do more than 2 cars a day, because we want the car itself is fantastic, and there's a lot of different components, and we want to make sure that we show the new owner everything that there is to see on the new car, and how to operate it, how to break in the engine properly, how to check the oil, the different drive modes. The car is not very complicated at all, and that's part of the beauty of it. But it does take a little bit of an orientation. But aside from kind of the mechanics of that, it is a little bit of a ceremony, and can be a little bit of a party if you wanted to, and customers can make it whatever they want. And we have about a 4-hour block of time set aside for each delivery, and we really work with owners to make that day as special as they want to.
Cool. So if the logistics and timing are right, somebody could actually take their car at the track, they could have a party at their arrival, just a variety of things.
Absolutely, yeah.
What have you seen?
So yeah, if the timing works out and we can deliver the track, we will, absolutely. And that's the neat part about it. And then we have seen from very low-key deliveries to barbecues and car shows, and delivering at a dealership with everybody comes out, because these cars, as you know, are very exclusive. We're only maxing out at about 250 a year, and so just the sheer limited availability of the car yields itself to anytime anybody sees one, you're going to attract a crowd.
Oh, absolutely. Now you have a background that lends itself to delivering one of these cars and showing somebody how to use it in a responsible manner. Share us a little bit about your background.
Well, sure. My background's obviously in racing, and this is a really, really interesting time to be part of his Ford's history. Very, very fortunate in that regard, and very excited. You know, having that racing background, having that motorsports background, you're naturally drawn to the GT, and it's a car that is so well thought through. It's not about raw horsepower. It's not about how well the car brakes in a straight line. It's the combination of everything, right? It's efficiency, it's aerodynamics, it's downforce, it's grip level, it's grip. It's getting the power down. It's all about the things that make a car fast around the track, right? And
it was designed to win a 24-hour race, so it's got to have the balance of everything.
Exactly. And so I think from anybody, like, you know, you get it right away. It's a car that attracts racers, right? And so a background like myself, it's super fun to deliver these cars, because we're talking about, how to go through the different drive modes, how to break the motor in, and then you get to the good stuff. Once we get the engine broken in, then we're off to the track, and then how well the car responds in the different drive modes when you're in a track situation. The car is really, really good, and it's hard to describe it until you drive it, and then you drive it, and it's like just sitting in the car. As you know, sitting in the car is it just feels like you're at home, right?
Exactly. Would you share with us some of the few differences between the car that actually won Le Mans and what we're going to take delivery of?
Sure. So there are obviously differences, but when you look at the cars are actually, when you look at other manufacturers in their relationship between the race car and the street car, there is a larger discrepancy. When we get to the Ford GT, the discrepancy becomes less. And we're using the exact same monocoque tub. We've got the seating position. There's a lot of similarities. The race car is obviously still a little bit lighter weight. It's a little bit wider.
And a few less amenities.
A lot less amenities, a little bit lower. But overall, like the street car and the race car are actually very similar. We have actually more power. The street car has even a little bit more power than the race car, which is kind of fun. So.
Oh, yeah. I don't know this to be factual, but I've heard that this is the only car that's been this close to, the only production car that's been this close to the actual race car. Can you elaborate on that, or is it?
No, it's
arguably.
It's interesting. I mean, the race car and the street car. It's a project that the race car and the street car were kind of built in tandem, almost on a parallel path, and you can see the race. You can feel and see the race DNA in the street car. The moment you sit in the car, you can tell that it's meant to get the business done on the track. But yeah, the cars are so similar that sometimes it's hard to think. You sit in the car, you're like, am I sitting in the race car? No, you're sitting in the road car.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Bernardo, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you at my doorstep someday. Well, not the doorstep, but hopefully it's Laguna Seca.